All right. I'm hearing lots of noise.
That wasn't me. Usually it's me keying, but it wasn't this
We got to
time.
control the audio here.
All right, Dwayne and Dale, everybody, welcome. I'm just trying to run down the
Okie dokie dokie.
mics here.
All right.
Okay, who are you? Mr. John Casera, over 40 years of financial planning. He's here to wow us tonight. So
Wow.
if you have any questions, be sure to take good notes because he's going to go over some great stuff here. All right, I will let you take it away.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming. You're going to, if you haven't seen this thing in full, by the time you get through, you're just going to be really, really happy that you get into this program. I haven't found anything better in all the years of my planning compared to everything else that's out there. And everybody needs money. I know that that's a fact. And I think you guys all probably know it too. And that's one of the reasons that you're here is because you want to get money. All right, the whole idea behind this Bitcoin thing is in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto wrote a white paper about how to create a digital way to move money around on the earth. And in 2009, the first transaction occurred, and the rest is just history. Everybody needs Bitcoin. This year, it just really blew up. It's been percolating around for a number of years, and finally, it's coming to the fore, and everybody is running towards it. Why? Because the world financial position is pretty bad. It's in a situation where from day to day we don't know whether or not we're going to have a stable economy or not. And we've been hearing for years that they're going to bring this thing down and try to do something with it, but it keeps chugging on and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So if it does crash, it's going to be one heck of a big crash. And you want to protect yourself, get yourself some Bitcoin. Do we know that works? We absolutely know that works. Why? Because gold is now less than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has become the de facto standard of protecting one's wealth, essence of their life, their labor. You can put money into a Bitcoin and it's going to be worth more tomorrow, not less. And every fiat currency, that is paper currency in the world since the 1700s, has always gone to zero. Now, gold never does. It always retains some value, but it seems like the fact that we actually have to have something where we can put more value in, and that's going to be Bitcoin. It is projected that if just 1% of the value of the assets just in the United States were transferred into Bitcoin, each one of the Bitcoins would be worth well over $1 million. Well, I want some of those things, and I want to hang on to them. And the problem is that we missed the early days. The early days back when they first started, they were kind of giving away those coins, and now they're not giving them away anymore. Right today, it costs you $1,280 in order to get a coin. How many do you want? Step right up. Well, if the average person can't even write a check for $500, how the heck are they going to buy Bitcoin? The answer is GLADIACOIN. Now, the reason is because the world still doesn't really know what's going on here, and we're not priced out of the market. And working together, we can achieve as a group of people something that we couldn't do on our own. And so that's what's going on here. So the value of the Bitcoin in 2010 was only a dime, and in 2016 it was about 900, and now it's well over that now. It's well over past gold. Gold is dropping and Bitcoin is climbing. That's just amazing to me. It's something I never expected and never anticipated. However, there are an awful lot of companies that you've heard of before that have actually invested in Bitcoin, unbeknownst to me. Again, that's what I'm talking about. There's a lot going on that you haven't heard about. So at some point, what's going to happen is everybody in the world is going to realize they need some Bitcoin. There's going to be a mad rush to get it. Now, there are only 21 million coins. Now, each coin can be divided in 1 million parts. So that makes for a lot of access to the Bitcoin. But in the future, it's going to be so high that the average person is just not going to be able to acquire it. That's why it's so important that you get on board with this little program now so that you can start acquiring Bitcoin when it's still reasonable and get enough cash to keep accumulating more as long as possible. In order to do that, you're going to need a Bitcoin wallet. Now, it's just an e-wallet because these are artificial coins. These aren't physical coins. You don't need a safe or anything like that. Although there are some hardware wallets that you can get that act like safes. And once you've accumulated your Bitcoin, you can actually pull them off of your computer wallets or your phone wallet and put it into a hardware wallet, which is just like a safe and protect it. So one of the most famous wallets is blockchain. That's generally a very easy one for people to get started with. There's Coinbase, which is a little more complex, but you can also buy Bitcoin there. There's another organization called Local Bitcoins, where this is a peer-to-peer organization. This is just a place where buyers and sellers meet. You need to buy some Bitcoin, and there are some people offering it there, and you just make a deal and exchange the cash and work all that stuff out, and you can get some Bitcoin. Zappo, Copay, and BitPay are other wallets there. BitPay actually offers a Visa card, and that's a way for you to move your Bitcoins into the BitPay account, and you can spend them through the Visa card anywhere Visa is accepted in the world. Now, unbeknownst to everybody, again, there are over 100,000 companies in the United States right now that take Bitcoin for payments. There are many countries now beginning to take Bitcoin for payments. There are many universities now beginning to take tuition and Bitcoin for payments. Switzerland, town of Zug, is even taking Bitcoin payments for everything that you need over there, you know, utilities, all that kind of stuff that you have to buy. So it's going to be very easy to use your Bitcoins in the future, because one of the big questions for a lot of people is, well, how am I going to use these things? Oh, listen, there's just so many ways to do it. And as you see there, we're looking at a person at a register, and they have a cell phone in their hand, and they just transfer some Bitcoin right over there to pay for their coffee. Okay? It's just not going to be a problem. Now, how do we do this, and how does this whole thing work? Well, basically, it's a buy low, sell high kind of thing. What we're doing is trading options, currencies. In other words, because this is a currency, because this really is a kind of money, and if you don't believe that, then you need to study Andreas Antonopoulos. Just go listen to all of his videos. Just Google Andreas and Bitcoin, and all of these videos will come up. Start watching them. He also has a book called The Internet of Money. Well worth the time and effort to invest in that, to learn more about what's going on here. But basically here, you don't need to know anything about that. What you do need to know is that you can put money with the company, and they promise to double your Bitcoins. We're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. But the whole idea here is the same thing that made a lot of people rich, and that is currency trading, and it's called the Forex programs. But if you understand what options are and how you can make money when it's going up and make money when it's going down in value, and do, you know, special buys where you can buy it at a low price and sell it someplace else. You know, for a while there, you were able to buy a Bitcoin for $700. This is just really recent too, kids, and sell it in China for $1,000, because they were willing to pay a premium for it, just to save and protect their money and their assets. You know, China really devalued their currency, and everybody that had Bitcoin didn't lose anything. India, to me, was one of the biggest changes. They got rid of all of their notes. It's kind of like us dumping our 100, our 50, and our 20. And all of a sudden, only things we have left are 5, 10s, and 1s to spend, because the money isn't accepted anymore. That's what they did over there. And I mean, that was painful for a lot of people. They just didn't have enough money to pay rent or do anything. So what we're doing here is we're robo trading. These guys are specialists in it, and they have computers that do this thing all day long, 24 hours a day. They never stop.
They come in at 11, you know, it's 11% of 2, which is point.
And I see Jim Ram there is working hard at letting people know how to do this. That's great. The whole platform here is designed to work with the digital economy, because it uses computers. But you know what really made this possible? The exchanges. If we didn't have the exchanges to be able to exchange money, push it from point A to point B, there would be no real market there. And so it's because of the rise of the high-speed changes and the computerized nature of it that we can actually do this, what we're doing right now. These guys are specialists in Bitcoin trading. They also make software and programs for other people. They own their own platform, and they maintain it. So it generates a very high volume of Bitcoin, and that is possible because of the wide swings in value. You've got big highs and big lows, and you've got big jumps going up and down in the currency. That's what you want. You want a high volatility in the price. Now, if you get a real stable price where it just never changes, you really can't do any of this stuff. So this is a limited time thing. This is not going to be here forever. You need to get in on it, and you need to get in on it now if you're going to do this. And don't tiptoe in. Jump in with both feet, frankly, and I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit too. Anyway, it's a worldwide opportunity. We're not just dealing in one country. We're dealing all over the world, and everybody who has a cell phone or a computer or a tablet and can get access to the internet can participate in this thing. Now, there are 2.5 billion people on the face of the earth that don't even have any access to banking. They don't even have a computer, but they do have a cell phone or they do have a tablet. What do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to be in the future when all of those guys find out about it and they want to get some Bitcoin too? There's just nothing but up, up, up. And the limited nature of 21 million coins is great. I like that because we know what the number of the coins is. It's absolutely limited. But let's talk about gold as a storehouse of value. We really don't know how much gold there is in the earth. Somebody may find a claim that's just phenomenal. Gold may be plentiful and just all over the place, and we just never found it before. And if that happens, it won't be worth very much. It'll still be a great metal and very useful and you know, different than every other kind of metal out there. But, you know, it won't be very rare. It's that scarcity that creates value. You got to remember that. Scarcity. And that's why they built it into the Bitcoin system. Most of the other cryptocurrencies out there that are coming about and blockchain technologies are going to be used for other things, and they're going to have lots and lots and lots of coins. And they may be used as a transmittal kind of thing between the banks or somebody else, but they're not going to be a Bitcoin. So let's move on and talk about the benefits. We've got duplication of your money in 90 days. I don't know if you guys know what a time deposit is, but in a bank, you go there, it's called a certificate of deposit. You put your money in for 90 days or whatever term you choose. They get the money and hold it, and you give it back to you at the end of the term. Just that simple. And then they say, do you want to do it again? Well, that's what they do here, only there's an acceleration clause in here. What we're really talking about is doubling your Bitcoin in 90 days. They give a 90-day period. You can let money sit there. You don't have to do anything. You put the money in the account, you let it sit, and they pay you 2.2% of that money back into your personal account, which will double it in 90 days. That's where the 90 days comes from. But you can accelerate that. The whole system is fully automated. The website just runs flawlessly. It just works. Your pay comes in flawlessly, comes in every single day. You don't have to do anything other than pay attention to, hey, is it time to renew or is it time not to renew? And, you know, just watch the numbers and see what's going on. So, and they make daily payments. Every day it comes into your wallet, your e-wallet, not their e-wallet, your e-wallet. You have an account with them, but all the money is in your personal account under your control. The company doesn't keep any of that. So we've got an international presence. All of the servers are in Singapore. And this optional binary network is what's important in how you can actually accelerate the doubling of the money. As I said, there are many people right now that are doubling their Bitcoin every single day. Put in 4, you get back 8. Put in 4, get back 8 every single day. This is all in real time. You don't have to wait to see what the results are. You can monitor the results right as you go. And everything is simple and easy to use. It's not complicated in any way, shape, or form. So as we said, the main idea here is we're going to double the Bitcoin in 90 days. Once you have been notified that that has been achieved, that particular contract terminates, and you're given 24 hours to decide if you want to do it again. And as it turns out, most people really want to do that. Now, let's start talking about how this is all generated and how the program works. There's two components to it. There's the passive component and the binary component. The passive component is where you put the money in the account and you're paid 2.2% daily into your account. And at the end of 90 days, whatever amount you have in there will be doubled in Bitcoin. But if you really want to accelerate this, then what you want to do is you want to refer other people. And unlike a bank, every time you refer somebody to the plan, you receive some compensation. You receive 5 to 15% depending upon your program. Now, when I first got in this thing, I kind of tiptoed in, but I really realized that after going through this and seeing what's happening now, because we went in I don't know, 18, 19 days, we went from the 0.05 level all the way up to the 4 Bitcoin level. And now that we're getting that 15% referral fee, I'm telling you, that's where you want to get in at. You want to get in as high as you can because you want to get the maximum referral fee on there and really accelerate the amount of Bitcoin that you can get because you can turn it over so fast. Why do it every 90 days, which is only 4 times a year, when you literally can do it every single day, which is 365 days a year? I mean, which one do you think is going to pay you more? Some people say, well, can I lose any money in this thing? Yeah, you can, sure. Absolutely. There's a possibility of losing money here. But before I tell you that, I want to tell you about how much money is lost legally every day in terms of all these so-called qualified investment programs. Put your money in your 401k account. Does it always look like the nice shiny brochure they gave you? Nope, never does. The other thing is there's all these other things, limited partnerships, leasing programs, real estate programs. You put your money in, you read the prospectus, you know who the lawyers are, you know who the investors are, and the general partners are, and yet it doesn't work. People lose money. We'll just have to forget about that. It's okay. It's all legal, nice, and stuff like that. Here's what happens here. This isn't going to continue forever. So what happens is when you put your money in, if you let it sit passively for 90 days, I'm just going to ask you a question. If the company should shut down for a reason, and I don't know that they're going to do this, or maybe you couldn't lose any money. Maybe they'll say, listen, we're going to close the company, take all your money out. Here it is. They may do that. I'm just saying, if there is a possibility of losing some money in here, this is what will happen. The last investment you made is probably what you're going to lose something on, if it happens. Just want to make you aware, nothing's perfect. This is as good as it ever is going to get. And if you come in here and you double one time, you've gotten your money back. Take your money, put your stash back, and just work on the company money, and you got nothing to sweat. Everything you get out of here is pure profit. I like the idea of doing it every day, because the odds are that I'm going to lose anything at any point in time is just doesn't exist anymore. So the way to really do this is to get your passive payment and also refer other people at the same time, so you can all accelerate this program and get your 8 Bitcoins every single day. Now, here it is how it looks like. So here's you're on top here, and what we suggest you do is you take a position here with the 4 Bitcoins, and you get this thing pumping up every day. But you want to take this position on your left and this position on your right below you. You want to own those two as well. Why? Because what will happen is you're building this left side and this right side, and you're getting those fees. But if you own this position, it can sit there and accumulate all the units. And so once this one is pumping up the 8 Bitcoin every day, you can't get any more than 8 Bitcoin. So you don't need to work on that one anymore. What you need to do now is take this position. You've already built the outside leg. Now you're just going to pull off the inside, because these points don't compress. They don't go away. You don't have to requalify. The points accumulate. And so you've already done half the work there. If you were to go start another position someplace else, you'd be starting from 0. But see, here you're not. And the same thing on this side. You've already built the outside team, and then all you do is start adding some people onto the inside leg, and now you've got 8 Bitcoins here, 8 Bitcoins coming here, and 8 Bitcoins coming here. That's pretty doggone good. You know, and when I talk about the plans, I'm going to talk about that a little bit, you know, because how much that actually is. So you get everything that you can get. You get the maximum amount of referral fee. You get the 2.2% interest payment every single day, and that's all you do is you just keep renewing your accounts. Now, you got to be careful here too, because let's say, for example, that you decide to pull some money out of the deal. All right, right here, I don't want to do it this month. I want to spend all my money and buy me a Maserati. Okay, you don't want to do this. Well, that's not a wise decision. The reason it isn't is you should put the minimum in and keep everything going, because you get disconnected from your team that you built that's putting all that binary money in there to help you cycle faster. All right, so if the people that have started with either, you know, but it doesn't matter what amount you start with, you pick the plan that's appropriate for you. You could have 100 Bitcoin, you could have 1 Bitcoin, you could have 1/10 of a Bitcoin, whatever it is. If you take a look at 100 people, all of them are going to double their money. It just works like clockwork. People are going to continue the plan so that they can retain this binary. That's just the way it's going to do. You know, why would you turn off the goose that's laying the golden egg for you every day? You wouldn't. Obviously, you wouldn't. I'm just telling you this because I just want to make you aware that it will continue and continue and continue until you decide that you want to terminate it. Okay? It's up to you. Here are the plans. This is the lowest level. There's no doubling air at all. The only reason it's a very small amount of money. They let you in. So what you can do is you can begin referring some people and begin accumulating some money from the binary position. In order to do that, though, you need to put 1 personal referral on the left and 1 personal referral on the right. And that's one of the reasons why we tell you to take those positions yourself, because that qualifies you to receive the money for the binary, and you own those positions and can work them later. Okay? But that's just here to get you into point 1, which is the lowest level where things double. Now, you really don't want to start there. You want to get in with as much as you can. So the sweet plan on this level of plans is the Spartacus 4 program. It's a 1/2 Bitcoin It's going to double in 90 days, but here it is. You get 9% referral fee on the binary program. You can earn up to 30 Bitcoin a month with that program. Even better is the 7 plan, because it just goes so much faster. But there's still room. I mean, if you can only get in with 1, you're better off getting in with 1. If you can get in with 2, get in with 2. But this is really the sweetheart plan. This is where everybody tries to get to, which we got to. It took us like 19 days to get there. We would have been there much faster had we gone there right away, because we would have received the 15% binary payments on the people that we received, instead of crawling up from 5%, 6%, 7% all the way through. Now, you don't lose it forever, because when these contracts renew and everybody renews their contracts 90 days or less, when you finally get to the higher percentage, that's what you're going to get. But I'm talking about if you really want to work the system and you want to get that money going quickly, that's the way you want to do it. You can earn up to 240 Bitcoin per month. That's 8 a day times 30 days. Okay? Do the math. Each Bitcoin is worth $1,280. How much money is that? Now, if you work all 3 of your positions like I'm talking about, where you take the top position and you take the position below you, left and right, that's 240 Bitcoin per month times 3. That's 720 Bitcoin per month. How much money is that? Do you think it would change your life? Do you think even bringing in just $1,000 a month would change your life? What's easier? What do you got to do here? Do you have to go to school and become a whiz? You got to be a PhD? You got to take all advanced degrees? No, but you might get a lot of money here and decide you want to go to school and do it for fun and do it because you want to know about those things and you like working with them. Do you have to invent something and sell it and get a company to take on your invention and sell it to everybody and thousands of people and go around and pitch it and wear yourself out, trial and error? No. All you have to do is know this plan exists, want to do it, make your deposit in the company, get your Bitcoin, set up a blockchain account, and just get started and let other people know that it exists. I don't advocate pushing people into any of this stuff. You don't really need to recruit them, but you want to do them a favor and just let them know it exists and what your experience has been with the company. My experience so far has been wonderful. Others too, and there's probably some people on here that are already working with it that can probably tell you that they feel the same way. I had their programming described to me today by one fellow who called it programming is elegant. That I haven't heard in software for forever. Elegant programming. Just never thought of it that way. Okay, let's just, what do you got to do? Get started. All you do is get back to the person that referred you to the program. They take their lead. They'll show you how to get started. Choose the plan that's suitable for you. Do the best you can to get in as high as you can and as quickly as you can. And then start now. Just get started. And within 90 days, you'll double what you do. Even if you do nothing, you just put the money in the account. You're going to double in 90 days. You split that amount, open 2 more accounts, and just keep adding to it. And, it'll start doubling. That's a lot more money than you'll have leaving it sit in the bank or leaving it wherever it is, because it's not going to double. I know that. Anyway, let's open it up for questions and answers, and then you guys can get on with the rest of your evening.
Wow, well, we have a full house tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
You guys are on fire. It's just amazing. This program is making so many people happy. I know it is me. We got in low. We came in at a 0.10, and day 25, we're already getting ready to renew that Spartacus 7 for the second time. So this really, really goes a lot quicker than 90 days if you want it to. You don't have to wait that 90 days. Who do we have in here that is a member that would like to speak up and say something?
Yeah, let people know what your experience has been.
Yeah.
New people need to hear this.
They do, and we have a full house. You guys are rocking this. This program is like a little Ferrari. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And everybody's happy making money. I thought I saw Coach or Sergeant Ram. Where did he go? I heard him when he first got in here. He was wheeling and dealing. Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, you did, right? Well, listen, we're not used to scrolling down so far on the page.
Right.
People are scrolling like crazy.
Well, if
Full
nobody
house
else is
tonight.
talking, I'll talk.
Talk
go
to
ahead.
us.
I've
No,
been in
What's
a
your
little over
experience?
about 2.5 weeks, and I'm on my second contract, and have made a little over $2,500 total. About
Well,
2.25 Bitcoin, $750 today, and same thing on Saturday. It's just cranking, and I've got people calling me from all over the place. I got some guy in Canada that wants to bring 2,000 people in.
wow.
So, well, you
That
better
is
get
it.
ready here.
Yeah, you better just hire somebody to sit on that computer and just hit that renew button for you. 8 Bitcoin a day.
That's the plan.
compare this to other kinds of programs you've been in the past. I mean, my
Oh,
feeling
my
is that
goodness.
this is so simple
Well,
and easy
let's
compared
put it
to
this
everything.
way. I've been an Amway distributor since 1978, and I'm still waiting on my first check. Love the products, but I ain't trying to build a business. And,
Yep, I know that feeling.
yeah, I've been involved
I think
with
we all have some of that stock still in our garages, huh?
this one pays better than anything I've been involved in. You know, I got another one that's, ain't no slouch, but it's not going to compare to this. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
This
this
thing is just the best thing I've ever seen.
Is
has
there?
been just a real game changer, hasn't it?
Oh,
Let,
yeah.
let me ask a question this way. There are a lot of people on here that are new, probably are not in the program yet. Let me ask you a question. What question do I have to answer for you to make you a raving 10? Just can't stand to wait to get in to do this. What is that one burning thing that you got to hang up on that you want to talk about? Because I
Oh,
can answer
man.
most questions.
You know, I really didn't have one because when you guys talked to me about it, it took all of about an hour. You know, I was a little bit overloaded when we were first talking, but when I got a chance to get off the phone and process things and do a little digging, it took me a whole hour to get signed up.
Well, I'm glad you talked to me, but I was actually trying to ask some of the new people here that are just trying to find out what's going on and trying to make a decision.
Okay, I thought you were asking me that question.
No, you're already in, man. You're already an advocate for this for other people. But there are people sitting here that are new, that haven't done anything, or maybe they're thinking about it and they haven't decided to pull that trigger. There's always a question. There's something bugging them. There's something they don't know if it's
Oh,
right.
we have a bunch of stuff going on in chat over here. We have, let's see, I don't even know where to begin. There's people from all over. We got a lot of Aussies in the house tonight.
Cool.
Hello, mateys.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah, we
got
can hear
people
you.
coast to coast.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. My concern would be the promotions part. I mean, actually, sharing it with others. Do y'all have anything in place to assist with that? Or what?
Yes, my mouth.
Our
Okay.
back offices, we just show them that money that's coming in.
That's about it, really.
Okay.
The company does not get out there and shake the bushes. They just do what they do very well. And it's up to us just to let other people know what's around.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
We have they can come in, you can show me a link, you can blast that out there, whatever you want to do to let your friends know. And they can just go right in and sign up with you and have their Bitcoin ready and their blockchain set up or whatever wallet they use. And bam, they're in, they're hopping, they're popping their snap, and they're making money.
As a planner, I'll tell you the main question that I had. I wanted to know for sure that the money that they say they were paying to these people was actually going into their personal accounts and the company wasn't controlling it. Because the problems I've seen with a lot of these programs are that people really don't control the money. They get in there, the companies get all this money in there, they're keeping it in the company, they don't release everything, they got to hold it for a while, you got to pay a fee, you got to do this, you got to jump through this hoop or that hoop, and you don't have any of that here. And I was able to trace the payments on their statements from their back office directly into their blockchain accounts to prove absolutely that that money was going there. Now, we've experienced that for the last 25 days. Every single day, we get our payment is sent right into our account. Every day. So if we want to turn around and spend it and blow it and go to Vegas and have a party, we can do it. Doesn't matter. But you better have that money to renew, because remember, if you don't renew at the same or higher plan, you'll lose the binary. It'll disconnect you from that team that you're trying to build there.
Okay, you mean renew once you reach the doubling point?
Right.
Okay.
And that doubling point can be in 24 hours or it can be in 90 days. It's really your choice and how much you want to bring other people into the program.
Right. And so that's going to be the main factor in the doubling is the amount of people you bring in, correct?
Right. And I'll tell you what you need. In order to double every single day, you need a pool of 50 Bitcoins below you. In other words, what I mean is that, I mean, people coming in with a value of 1 Bitcoin, or you need 50 of those. But you can bring in people, and they're coming in, really. They're coming in, they're taking 7 positions, because you can only put 4 Bitcoin in one position. So maybe they got $25, $30, $40, $50,000 they want to start doubling on. Then they've got to take multiple positions, and they put them all on a line in a team, you know, and they just start building that team. Now remember, this team goes to infinity. So even the guy a millionth down, if he does something and if he makes a reinvestment with his money, the units, the value of that flows up through every single person in that line. So you don't just get one shot on that fee. You get that fee every time people renew their contract, which is within 90-day periods for everybody. The longest would be 90-day periods. The shortest is a day, 24 hours. If you get 50 Bitcoin coming in like that every day, that position will just continue to renew every single day. It'll pump out 8 Bitcoin, just like clockwork. Hey, that's better than an oil well, man.
Yeah, I am not complaining. Yeah. I was very, very, very skeptical because we've been burnt in so many things before. I mean, it's just like, no, I don't want to do this. You know, I really didn't. And, man, if I have any advice for anybody, it is like dive in and hit the ground running. You know, it is just, where was Luke? I just saw him with his hand up.
One other thing I'd like to say, too, is if you're going to generate your own promotional materials, remember, you've got to be very careful. If you're not careful about the terms you use, if you're not careful about what's going on, you know, the authorities can't come in and shut you down as running an unregistered security. You got to watch it. You can't make a lot of promises here. You can only say what the company promises. Yeah, that is, and double your coins in 90 days or less. Okay? That's it. Nothing else. You can't hype this thing up. You can't promise all these huge incomes and things like this. Because you don't know if it's true or not, right? You only know what happens
to the company says. That's all. And, you know, every day, just like clockwork, somebody in the chat room is asking why is it shut down for maintenance? Well, every day, 8 a.m. Singapore time is when they shut down and send us all our checks.
Well, they do the calculations. They got to run the calculations. They got to market to market right there that day, and then they've got to make the distribution because they're going to pay 2.2% of the account value to everybody that day. You get that payment whether you want it or not. No, keep it. Put it back in the plan. No, we can't do that. It doesn't work that way. We've got to send them.
It's only shut down for like what, maybe a half an hour. It used to be like 15 minutes, but we are exploding so much that we're having like 4 webinars a day and almost all day, every day, and everybody's excited with this.
Yeah. How long has this thing been going?
They started this project on December 1st.
Okay.
And I can tell you that one of the main guys in Colombia that's been doing this before any of us started doing it, because that guy in Colombia introduced it to one of his Colombian friends in Florida, and it's kind of exploded through the Spanish market. They're well over already earning more than 300 plus Bitcoins.
Yes. And then our guys, he's bringing in like 24 Bitcoin a day.
Yeah, William's
he's
doing
got like 3 positions, and that guy is making some cheddar.
Guys, it's Rob here in Australia. Can I ask some questions?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've just been trying to wait for a pause in the traffic, but it's pretty busy in here. Look, it all sounds really cool. I've only found out about this literally about 45 minutes ago through Marlena. I'm in Australia. I'm in Australia, so you know, one of the questions has already been answered, which is great. But so if I invest in a position and you're suggesting that then you get the 2 positions below you, so would you suggest that those 2 positions below you in the binary to secure those right and left legs for yourself would be in the minimum 0.1, until you can then activate those and start building them? You upgrade those at that point?
Well, it wouldn't be a 0.1. The minimum I would do is a 0.1 on each one. 10%.
Yeah, sorry. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
so it doubles as well.
Well, that percent will double while it's just sitting there even. So, but in the meantime, you're going to be accumulating all those points coming up through those legs, and then you can even use the funds that you got from the other one to help build the positions 2 and 3. And you may even want to see down in the team, you may find a hot shot down there. You may want to take another position down below them, kind of farm it out.
So what I'm hearing is there's no limit to how many positions you can take.
No, there's no limit to it.
Right, but you do want to work your top position if you're going to be referring and get that nice and full,
Make that sing first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So
okay.
We've had Carrie up with a hand up. Go ahead, Carrie. Carrie, can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Very, very low. Barely, very, very low.
Okay, maybe I'll get closer to my computer. Can you hear me now?
I don't know what it is, but it's just really low. Just try. If everybody's quiet, we can hear.
I am Carrie from Connecticut, and I've been a member for about 10 days. And I just wanted to say something that might be encouraging to new people, and that is that when I got in, I got in at 0.1, and I was so excited the next day that I got a whole $2.58. It was the first positive money I'd ever had. I've been in other programs and so on, and I've been ripped off, and everyone's got their story. But I just wanted to say that the next day I got about $2.79, and after 10 days I have a total of $28.61, and I'm very happy about it. So I went and got myself a second position. I do have someone on my other leg. I'm just starting out. It's hard for me to open up to people and share this because I'm just not in that vein of things to be, well, it's just,
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some other people that have unmuted themselves. We'll see if we can mute them.
Andrew, I can't mute your mic. Can you mute yourself out there, Andrew? I think that's coming from you. You can feel free to share any of our recordings or videos. We have a Facebook group. You can go in there and look at the files and download anything you like.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to do it. I didn't know nothing about Bitcoin and blockchain. I didn't want to know. And then about 2 months ago, I started paying attention, and it's just amazing, all the stuff you learn. So you don't have to be a guru to do this. As William Portillo says, he's usually the one that does the new webinars, but they're traveling. They're traveling to Vegas and San Francisco doing meetings for people. And he tells us, he goes, this is so easy, his grandmother can do it. A child at 5 or 6 years old to 90 can do this system because it's so clean and it's so simple and it's automatic, which I really like. I really like that. But feel free to use our videos and just share them with your friends. You don't have to say it. Just say, hey, what are you doing about Bitcoin? And that opens up the door. And
well, I'm just starting to be able to do that. And that was my point, is that I'm starting to share it with people. I'm getting a little more confident in being able to share it, learning from these webinars, and learning on my own. And so I'm very happy about this because I have a small but positive income, and I'm going to expand that. So because I know a lot of people that come on and say, well, I got $400 today and I got $750 today.
Yeah. Every day.
And that's fantastic, and I hope I get there too. But
oh, you will. You will.
I might be as slow as a snail right now, but I'll catch up.
Let me tell you one other thing. I want to recommend everybody get a little book in their hands called Double Your Contacts. Double Your Contacts. It's the author of that guy's last name, Durkin, 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 Michael J. Durkin. He's a very experienced networker type person, but this whole little book, I wish I had 40 years ago. It's not very expensive, but it really, really tells you how to prospect, because frankly, in order to spread the word about anything, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to be able to prospect and find the person that needs to hear it. And that's really the kind of business, if you want to call it, that people are in when they're talking about things that they're happy about. So this is a useful book for everything that you do, and I really recommend it. Hey, Luke, you got your hands up.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Luke. You've been so patient. Can you hear us? Luke.
Yeah, what's happening?
Hey, you tell me.
Oh, it's really, really good. Everything's really good. So, for people out there, I started less than a week ago. I think Tuesday will be the day that I actually, I think I actually started, but I don't think it actually happened till Wednesday because I had to buy my Bitcoins through William Portillo, which everybody's talking about. But anyway, in the course of a week, I've already cycled, which means that my 0.1 Bitcoin, which is about 120 US, is doubled. And then when I went to upgrade it, and by the way, I had almost 25% on the next thing before I actually upgraded. So it's really taking off, guys. All you need to do is get people to this webinar. There's twice a day. I mean, you don't have to explain. You don't have to tell people what's happening. All you do is just drag people here. And John and Kathy are going to do their magic. I just happened to find someone that's a networker. He's actually got a lot of contacts. He's got like 100,000 people on his mailing list. And here's the great part, guys. So he is like joined me on my one side. And so like, wow, that's great. But the problem is, if that's a problem, all those people, I'll never see the revenue because that side is always going to be my dominant side. But by the same token, my other side of my team has cycled me in 6 days instead of 90. So you guys do the math.
Well, you better get busy. Sounds like
I mean, just all I have to do is just, I have a big problem, and the problem is it's on me. So you just guys, you just got to put your heads down, invite everybody that has a pulse to get them to these webinars, and you're going to be successful. That's all I got.
Thank you, Luke.
Well, thank you, Luke. And I think, weren't you calling me up like the next day saying, oh my God, I got like 20 people overnight? Weren't you like just pretty amazed at that?
Oh yeah, and it's like that's every day. But the problem is, I thought it was just on the one side, and then I did a video and I recorded on YouTube, and it was like day 6, but it's actually day 5. And I went looking in my downline, and I could not believe what happened because I didn't even look. I didn't even look.
I know.
I didn't even look. I was just like
downline. I don't even try to figure out how many are in there anymore. I mean, it's just these people are happy. So you're telling me that what people want to hear is, are you making any money? They want to know about the money.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. So I like I said, I cycled in 6 days, which means I made my double back, which means the 120 that I spent, or roughly, I was able to double that. So I put that back in, and instead of just having the 100% left over, it was like 25% over. So they keep track of, if you go over that 100%, when you renew your contract, whatever you've gone over, they keep track of that, and so you start where you left off, if that makes any sense. So, so I immediately upgraded to Spartacus 3 on my main position, and then I've got 2 other positions underneath that leader that's got all those people, because I'm not going to lose anything off of those guys. I mean,
No.
I'm
And
kind of smart.
actually, you do get a percentage
Of course.
on that leg. So, yeah,
Yep.
not all is lost. You were saying it was a problem, so I just wanted to clarify that. No, it's
Right.
not a problem. Growing problems are good in this program.
Well, listen,
They really
I
are.
want to make sure everybody understands something here. As a planner, I know this. I mean, because I'm dealing with people. You really have to understand, even if people say they're not interested in this thing, here is an article that's on Zero Hedge, and this article tells what's going on with the actual Americans. The reality is half of Americans cannot afford to write a $500 check. I don't care how much money that people say that they've got and that they're using, they always need more money because everybody is stressed today. It's really kind of bad. So one point is everybody really has a potential need for this because everybody needs more money. So that's why you ask the question, what are you doing about Bitcoin? You ask them what they're doing about Bitcoin. You don't see, do you know about Bitcoin? Have you heard about Bitcoin? None of that matters. What are you doing about Bitcoin? Well, most people aren't doing anything about Bitcoin because they don't know about it. So I've got
a news flash for you guys. That $500 check problem isn't limited to America. That's global.
Yes, I really agree with you on that. That's exactly, and that's what they want. They want everybody dependent on coming to the government for stuff.
Mhm.
Now, the other thing that I wanted to put in here to help you with was I wanted to prove to you that this is Kitco. It's an investment site, and it covers everything that's out there. And I want to prove to you that gold price right there, the ask price on it is $12.26 US right there. Okay. But when you go over here and you look at the you look at this site here is the actual, right there is the current Bitcoin price. So that's way above 1226. That is a massive change in our financial structure. This is not supposed to exist. This is not supposed to be the way it is, but it is the way it is. And this is really going to be far more valuable than gold. Now, what this article is telling you is that unlike gold, Bitcoin is a once-in-a-generation investment opportunity, and this comes from CNBC, a big investment site from one of the main kind of guys. It's just amazing. And I put the link for this article in there too so that you'll have it and you can read it. Very, very important. You guys are in a period in history that's unlike any other. You're at this. It's like the invention of electricity and radio and railroads all simultaneously happened at the same time. And Andreas, the guy who really is an expert in Bitcoin, Andreas Antonopoulos, says that he thinks that the invention of Bitcoin is equal to or greater than the invention of the internet. You have no idea what's coming, and people don't know. You're at the right place at the right time if there ever was one. You couldn't be any better. And
That's
this is the
exactly
way
right.
you can actually get your hands on some serious Bitcoin to save for the future, because you won't be able to get it later. So all I can say is do your best. Just get out there. I think some more people raised their hands. I can't tell.
Yes, let me see if, let's see. Marina, can you hear us now? Your hand is raised.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Welcome. Good to hear you.
Hi, welcome. I love the presentation today. I think it's one of the best ones that I've heard. All of them have been good, but I like this one. You mentioned a book, and I got Michael Durkin, but I did not. The name of the book.
The name of the book is Double Your Contacts.
Double Your Contacts.
Mm-hmm. He gets right down to the nitty-gritty of it and tells you, don't use these words. Don't do this, don't do that, and he tells you why.
Okay. And the other thing is about the 2.2% that we get from our investment.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people asking me, okay, why don't I get paid every day? And I said, because you have to get 0.3 in order for you to get paid every day.
Yeah, right. If they come in with enough where that 2.2% is going to exceed 0.03, they'll get the payment every day. And you can just show them that it'll be regular in their back office. You can see the financial statement I don't have one of them up right here, but when you look back there, you'll see the payments made to their account, and as soon as it gets over 0.03, that payment goes right to their account.
But when they have 1,000 or 1 Bitcoin, well, right now it's a little bit more, but let's just say it was 1,000. They get a 2.2, so that's around $22 or whatever.
Well, they're going to get you're going to get 0.044444 Bitcoin paid to their account every single day.
But even they have the 3. I said, well, you still have to accumulate the 0.03 in order to get paid.
Yeah, but 0.04 is great.
Yeah, and it takes about 3 or 4 days, maybe. You know,
but when you have when you have your triangle of 3.
Yes.
And you have 1,000 in each. That's what they're asking. How, you know, well, I don't know if it's in one of the videos, but what I came to the conclusion was that, okay, when you're the 2 bottom ones help the first one get to 0.3 or 0.4.
No.
Okay.
Each one of those is a standalone position. They can only accept up to 4 Bitcoin as a deposit, and they can each pump out a certain amount of 8 Bitcoin. That's it. That's the max.
So when you have a Bitcoin in each or the other 2, then you have to wait until you get the 0.03 or a little bit more to get paid every day.
Yes, but the point I'm making is that 1 Bitcoin is going to be more than enough. It's the 0.1s and the 0.2s that you don't get the 1 every day. You have to wait till it accumulates for a day, too.
Okay. Thank you. You answered my question. Yes. Thanks a lot.
Okay, great.
Okay, I saw somebody else. Carrie, did you have a question for us? Carrie? No, she lowered her hand. Okay.
Here I am.
Okay. Sorry about the wait here.
No problem. I was wondering well, I plan on renewing, but if you didn't renew, you lose your downline, so to speak. So
yes.
What happens to that binary? Where does it go? Does people that were still on it, does it go up or down?
It just flows to the company.
Oh, it goes to the company.
Right.
Okay, but the people still receive underneath.
Anybody who's still involved in their contracts and everything, it's the same thing. It's just you're not in the position anymore because you took yourself out of it.
I see. It goes to the company then.
Yeah, you are always in control. You have 24 hours as soon as they've hit your contract. That means they have done what they said they did. They doubled your money. Then they give you 24 hours to click that button and want to renew with some of the abundance that you've received. You don't have to go out of your pocket again. Just keep enough in there to know what you're going to need to renew, on whatever package it is. And just with the click of a button, like Luke just said, he's renewing, I think he said the 2nd time. And we've got people in here renewing daily. That's how fast they're growing. And so it's just real easy. Just click of a button, you renew. Why wouldn't anybody want to renew? That's just insane.
I think if they didn't renew, it might be a mistake. But I
Well, let me tell you how that happens. Let me tell you, there's a way that can happen. What people are doing is some of them are spending the money that they get initially thinking that they'll wait till they get the last half of the money in order to do the renewal. That's a mistake. You want to make sure that you keep their stash, whatever you're going to need to make the next renewal payment in. If you want to go up, you need to save it all. But don't get caught because at the last minute you may see a bunch of money in your account coming in. For example, you can only get 8 Bitcoin. You cannot use any overage until you renew the account. So the last time we renewed, we had 1.5 Bitcoin of payment due us, but they can only pay out 8. So if I don't renew, I'll get my 8, but I won't get that 1.5 that's being held in abeyance because they can't pay more than 8. So what you have to do is you need to make sure you keep the amount you're going to need to renew in your personal blockchain account, so you always have that. And then spend the rest if you want. Don't worry about it. But you got to make sure you got to get that stuff. So save it right away, and then spend the rest if you want to spend some.
Yeah. And it's real easy to do because you can go in there and get a debit card from anybody, like Uphold or Coinbase, or there's all kinds of Bitcoin debit cards that you can get for about $10 and then like $1 a month or something. So, and there's BTM machines all over. Just go Google them, and you can see where they're at in your area. You can exchange for cash anytime you want. And it's easy, very easy to do. Many people survive on Bitcoin. They don't even use fiat currency anymore, which is pretty fascinating.
I've discovered that there are no Bitcoins machines, no BTMs in Connecticut at all.
Well, look at that opportunity.
I have a contact. I mean, I'm able to get them. But yeah, I'm looking at that. They have to start out somewhere, don't they?
There are people that have the Bitcoin machines, and they will place them in places of business free of charge and give that business owner a percentage, for having that machine in there for his customers. So you might want to Google that too. Get some in Connecticut. Yeah. They're putting them all over Santana, Texas right now. So that's cool. They're all over Denver. I mean, I was surprised. I didn't know they even existed. And they sure do. So we have, let's see.
You guys keep talking over. She still had something else to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I just said thank you. That's all.
Well, there's one thing I want to bring up about these machines. What a great opportunity to go to a business and say, do you take Bitcoin? And if they say no, then you can explain how they can have one of these machines put in their business. They get free advertising because everybody looking for people to get Bitcoin will find them on the map and come over to the store just to get some Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking business here.
Good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I have somebody in Denver that wants to talk to me. How do you contact me? Skype. We use Skype all day. I'll give you my Skype. We use Skype all day long, and it really comes. Oops. I put the wrong address in there. I'm a native of Denver. And there are machines all over the place down there. There you go. I can give you a list of them and the people that actually go around and put them in the business. We do have a Facebook group. It's called GLADIACOIN Elite Global Leaders. Look us up and come in and get some videos or kick the tires and make sure you get back to the person that invited you to this group tonight, this webinar, and they will give you more information, and they'll give you their personal link if you're ready to get going here. All right, anything else, John?
Nope. I think we're done. It's been over an hour, so we need to get...
Yeah, this has gone long. We had a full house. Congratulations, guys, and jump into this with both feet. I'm not kidding.
See y'all later. See you tomorrow.
We will, and we'll see you at noon tomorrow. That's Pacific Standard Time in the same room. And then we're back again at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, and that's also Pacific Standard Time. So go out and bring your friends. Let's get everybody on making Bitcoin and getting happy in life. We sure have a happier outlook on life these days.
Oh, yeah.
We are happy. So
okay, see you later.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Take
Bye-bye.
care, and God bless you all. Good night.